new conception of mind, which finally overcomes the Cartesian division between mind and matter that has haunted philosophers and scientists for hundreds of years. You may remember that you have heard or read that in the 17th century, the great philosopher René Descartes based his view of nature on a fundamental division between two separate and independent realms, that of mind and that of matter. Mind he called the thinking thing, and matter he called the extended thing. Ever since Descartes, scientists and philosophers continued to think of the mind as a thing, as some intangible entity, and they were unable to imagine how this thinking thing interacts with the body. The decisive advance of the system's view of life has been to abandon this Cartesian notion of mind as a thing and to realize that mind is not a thing but a process. This novel concept of mind was developed during the 1960s independently by two scientists, Gregory Bateson, who talked about and wrote about mental process, and Umberto Maturana in Chile, who focused on cognition, the process of knowing. They both had the same insight to associate cognition, the process of knowing, with the very process of life. So cognition, according to Maturana and according to Bateson, is the activity involved in the self-generation and self-perpetuation of living networks. In other words, cognition is part of the very process of life. The self-organizing activity of living systems is at its core cognitive activity or mental activity. And the interactions of a living organism, plant, animal, human, and so on, the interactions with the environment are cognitive interactions. And in this way, life and cognition are inseparably connected. Mind, or more accurately, mental activity, is immanent in matter at all levels of life, whether or not there is a brain or a nervous system. Plants, for example, which don't have a nervous system, or even bacteria, are constantly engaged in cognitive activity using their sensory apparatus and various self-organizing processes. So mind is immanent in matter at all levels of life as a process. And so for the first time, we have a scientific theory that unifies mind, matter, and life.